I grew up in California until I was about 5 years old. But I had to move to the Philippines because my parents were getting a divorce. So I lived in the Philippines for about a year, and eventually I got to move back to California with my mom when the divorce was finalized, and she was a bit more settled. But eventually I had to move to Washington to live closer to her grandparents, or to my grandparents, um, because my mom can't afford to take care of three kids by herself in California. But that's a little bit about myself.
I got into voice acting when I was a kid. I watched a lot of cartoons, played a lot of video games, and I really liked how some of the characters sounded. So I would always try to mimic them, like Bugs Bunny or SpongeBob SquarePants or something like that. And it annoyed the crap out of my mom because she was always busy working and she was always trying to sleep in the afternoon. But I had a lot of fun with that. I got to be something different and bring a character to life. So eventually, when I got into high school, I found out that there's this thing that people do called voiceovers and fan dubs, and I wanted to do that, so I decided to get my Rock Band microphone that I got in the Rock Band set when I bought the game, and I plugged it into my computer and decided to just do it, and eventually that led to original projects, which I've been involved in recently.
One project that I recently got completed was a visual novel called Seven. I play this demon called Belphegor, and he doesn't actually have a picture, he's just a shadow.
How did I get here?
You put yourself in here, Wanderer. Don't you remember?
There's my voice! Some other projects that I'm currently working on include a fan game called Danganronpa Extended Stay. It's based on a game that's actually been released in Japan called Danganronpa, which is about these kids who need to kill each other in order to get out of the school. It's gonna be fun. I played this guy right here, Kevin Cosmos. He's the ultimate chemist, and he thinks he's funny, but he's not. He makes a lot of corny chemistry jokes. Some other ones include an animation called Tokyo Magic Star, and I played the devil. So that's always fun. I can play a crazy character. But those are just a few that I can name off the top of my head right now.
If you're doing cartoons, you typically get a lot more money. The session is usually about 4 hours. You get paid maybe $300 an hour. But if you're doing anime, your session is like 2 hours and you get $100 or $200 an hour. And then with video games, you have longer sessions for maybe 6 hours, and you get paid in between that. And then for commercials, of course, you're in there probably for about 20-30 minutes, and you get paid a lot more than anything else. So really, it really depends on what medium you're doing and what kind of voiceover you want to do.
So I'm going to show you guys my recording equipment. Alright, right here is my microphone. It's called the Blue Yeti microphone with a cardioid pattern, but there's like also these different patterns that I don't use at all. Because for voiceovers, you want your voice to go directly right here into the front, and that's where it's going to pick up all the sound. This cost me $100, so it's pretty expensive. You don't want to get this just yet. When you start out, you want to make sure that you get something really cheap, like the Rock Band microphone or something like that, because as a beginner, obviously you're not going to be booking anything big. Always going to need a pop filter. The pop filter basically makes all all those P's and T sounds. They're not going to be picked up by the microphone itself. So it's really helpful. $8 on Amazon, and there's my connecting thing to the computer.
For voiceover, the difference in mediums is that when you're doing cartoons, you're in the booth with everyone in the cast. So when you're recording, everyone's recording at the same time because the animation is pre-lay. They haven't actually animated it yet. So when you're done actually with your session, they animate the voices over, or they animate the show over your voices. For anime, you go into the booth alone because all the animation is done. So basically what you hear is a 3-beep system, and what that basically is, you hit this beep, 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 and then on that fourth imaginary beep is when you start going.
Squidward, you want a Krabby Patty? Patrick, you like Krabby Patties? Ah! Let's go jellyfishing, guys!